Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Administrator. We'd now proceed with questions. I have both some on the subject matter before us and something that will be a bit off topic but topical as relating to the biological opinion in the Pacific Northwest. Why don't I just start there? I saw my staff was involved in the briefing yesterday, and I've seen a number of news stories, and different people are basically characterizing the position of the administration in different ways, in particular as relates to any possible study of dam removal. And I just want to make certain we've got this straight for the record, and I'll quote to you from one from the Oregonian and another story from the New York Times. And one, it says, we believe the actions in the plan will prevent further declines, but we've added these contingencies just in case. You go on to say, possible breaching of the Snake River dams remains on the table in this plan, but it is considered a contingency of last resort and would only be implemented if the analysis concludes it would be appropriate and, in fact, beneficial. And then you go on in the New York Times story to say, in speaking of the energy produced, say, they allow integration of wind into the grid. It's not clear what impact the removal would have on salmon. We believe the removal of them is not necessary in the short term. We want to give these other actions a chance to work. Those are accurate representations of what you've said? Yes, they are. Okay. I guess my question is, and I'm one who is a great skeptic of, and having waded through the last analysis, which was done mostly by the Clinton administration, but not released until the next administration, the Bush administration, had taken office on dam removal, that they talked about myriad problems that would result in addition to cost, loss of power, with the sedimentation and the spread of sedimentation throughout the river system, the need to basically transport generations of salmon while the dams are being removed because of the increased sedimentation. And then they pointed to the fact that actually most of the prime spawning habitat was above the private dams, which don't have fish passage, unlike the federal dams. And for whatever strange reason, none of the environmental groups has ever raised the issue of regarding relicensure of those high private dams, which provide no fish passage and which block the formerly prime spawning habitat. So I am a skeptic, but as I see it here, you've developed sort of a new series of short-term measures or sort of immediate or crisis measures that could be taken if there was a certain percentage drop in one or another of the runs, which none of which go to dam breaching. But what you are saying here is that basically there would be a study of whether there should be a study of dam breaching, or that's sort of the way I would characterize it. Could you just sort of, since there's a lot of controversy swirling around this, just sort of make it as clear as you can what's being proposed and how it relates to that?
I'd be happy to try, Congressman. We did file a report to the court yesterday that was the result of a 5-month, very intensive review of the 2008 biological opinion dealing with, as you know, the 13 listed species in the Columbia River Basin system. The report includes an adaptive management implementation plan, which provides for significant enhancement of a series of actions to be taken to strengthen protection for these endangered and threatened species. We believe that those actions, which encompass habitat, hydro measures, control of invasive species, and both predators and competitors of the salmon, and other types of measures, will indeed be very strong, and if they play out the way we anticipate they do, they will be sufficient to provide for not jeopardizing those species and providing adequate potential for recovery. We believe, though, that out of an abundance of caution, especially in light of climate change and other things which we might not anticipate, that it's critically important that we have the ability to monitor fish constantly and to have backup measures in place should they not be performing the way we expect them to. Hence, we have identified specific triggers and contingency actions that would go into place if the triggers were tripped. Those contingency actions are both rapid response actions, things that could be done immediately and that would bring immediate benefit to the fish, and some actions that would take longer to implement and would have benefit farther down the road. Breaching of the dams is in this last category. We do consider it an option of last resort.